Hello, Fantasy Sports Wizard here, and welcome to episode 7 of my Hamburg career mode. I apologize there hasn't been an episode recently, just haven't had time to get around to putting this up. And as you can see on screen, there's confirmation of the Pokal Cup prize money where we lost to Hertha Berlin. So, very disappointed to lose that for the fans, and I know the players themselves, they really wanted to have a bit of a cup run as well because it's always enjoyable. But unfortunately, this year was not to be. But players are ready to bounce back and will go again next year. Now, moving on into our weekly training, we've rotated the players back after that international break, bringing Tillemans back in as we continue to push his development as he promises so much. And we get a little bit of growth in a few categories here and there as they continue to develop nicely. Now, this week sees the NordDerby. I'm psyched for this. I hope you are. This game is one that I want to win more than anything for the fans, and right now it's even greater as it's with neck and neck in the table. They're just above us, and we have a chance to leapfrog them with this win. So let's go, boys. We can do this. And on screen you can see the package saying that Lasogo is in fine form, is the one to watch after his 3 goals in the last 3 games. So hopefully that streak can continue. And on screen you can see the Werder Bremen side popping up. And to be honest, the only player I was really worried about was Janovic, and that's purely for his free kick ability. So imperative that we don't give any free kicks away in a dangerous position. And on the side you can see we've pretty much gone with our first team with Kleber replacing Euro in defence, but Embolo and Lasogo up front with Tillemans just sitting behind, which seems to be our preferred choice. And at half time we are dominating possession, but to be honest, not a lot really happened. Like, few shots here there, but nothing that really troubled Adler. Our shots, they just weren't troubling the keeper. And we get things started here in the 60th minute. A poor mistake from the computer, so it shows that they make mistakes too. And Elisevic is going to run that back and smash a shot past into the near post, sending some hearts to the fans because this game means so much. And in the end, that's how it's going to end, 1-0. Like, for a derby, like, it wasn't much goalmouth entertainment, but the feistiness was there. Like, the tackles were flying in, as you can see by the fouls from both sides, and to sneak a 1-0 win, that was pretty pleasing. Now, moving on into next week of training, is again keeping with the same players, as again they promised so much, and we get a bit more growth in a couple of categories. And possibly in future episodes we're going to look at maybe switching around to develop what their other skills so then we'll have more rounded. Now, it's been a while, so I'm going to quickly do a squad report. Rene Adler, she's been fine form. Like, we wouldn't be in this position without him. Diekmeyer is bouncing back nicely. Spasic has lost one, and with his contract expiring in 8 months, we might not look at renewing that, considering he's also 35, so it might be time to move on, find a younger replacement. Joe possibly will re-sign him, but we'll see how he progresses through the rest of the season before coming to that decision. Ekdal is starting to perform. He seems to become that preferred player in midfield over Kaká. And Steiber, he's improving nicely, but he's merely in the team as backup to Müller. And Elisevic, again, he's dropped down a bit, but lately his form seems to have been going on the rebound, so fingers crossed. Tillemans is probably one of our, he is our star of the team, progressing very nicely and getting a good run of games, and continuing to develop nicely. Lasogo also in fine form for us once again, picking up 3 important goals in the last episode. Embolo developing nicely, but struggling to score and trying desperately to get him off the mark, doing everything in my power to motivate him, and he's got that sort of will and desire to do so, so it's going to come for him. I believe in him, and I'm sure you, the fans, do as well. And Gregovic and Kleber also growing nicely. Gregovic getting a nice run in the team after his fine performances, capping with his first goal for the club. Mikel, yet to see anything, but obviously getting a run out in the reserves maybe, as he's gone up. And Hunt, disappointing, having been displaced by Tielemans, struggling. Carlos Blanco hasn't done much, but been a fine fill-in. Olic is the form of the Sogo and Embolo looking to be above them. He's been limited to bench appearances. Devontae Parker, I just haven't had the chance to play him. He's like third in line. He was merely added for depth. Philippe Muller, I probably will look at sending out on loan during the January transfer window, with a view to him being sold on at the end of the season as his contract expires. Altentas, one for the future, yet to really make a mark for the team, but developing nicely for when he gets there. Herzl, again, hasn't had much to do, probably should be working on his training maybe, so that could be a player to consider. Ashton Gertz, not done much. Sakai developing nicely, but again, he's not quite there. Chambers also growing nicely. So, in terms of growth, squad's doing nicely. Block, I haven't been able to incorporate him into the team, but you're going to see in a later episode, well, actually in this episode, he does get a run out, trying to get him going, as we have paid a fair amount for him, and he comes very close to actually getting off the mark for the club. And Kieran Denbury, he's improving nicely. Gouda also going up nicely. So our on-loan players that we got in our system developing nicely, maybe not at quite as quick a rate as we would like. Ronnie Marcos also improving nicely, and likewise for Ronstadt and Thun. And there we go, back to the start. The next game going into, I think, 13th place FSV Mainz. So they're near that mid-table spot that we're looking for. Change the squad around. Callum Chambers comes in along with Johan Juro. Steiber also gets a run out, though I think he got a run out in the last game. I think Muller might be out or still resting. And I was fairly confident going into this game. I was hoping we could nick a win. And again, the first half, I need to get the boys motivated and up for the first 45 minutes. We haven't really been able to do much lately in those 45 minutes, so something to be worked on there. But we're not conceding, which is imperative. And here we get a penalty, absolute blatant foul. He blocks his progress into the box, and Masogo is going to step up and misses. I was shocked I missed that. I've been having a very good success rate with penalties, and instantly they make us pay, but it's ruled out for offside. Thank goodness. And as I was talking about, just during that squad report, his Schlepplock, he came on for Lesotho, who was a bit tired, and narrowly fizzes one past the post that would have been the game winner. So instead, a draw is probably a fair result. It could have gone both ways. It could have been, 1-0 win for us, 1-0 win for them. But in the end, we're just going to have to take the 1 point and continue our fine form as we continue to climb up and away from that bottom half of the table. And here we go, going into some more training. It's just the same players, just making them better and better at what they do, so that they're going to be able to have a prominent role in the club, and we'll be able to contend for silverware and whatnot. And the final game of this episode, we are up against 5th place Wolfsburg, without their maestro Kevin De Bruyne. But this game, oh boy, it was frustrating. Wolfsburg, they played a very aggressive style of football that I was very disappointed with. The referee, I felt, and I can go out and say that what I want to say about him, because I felt he didn't control the game very well, and it seemed that he let a lot of things go that he shouldn't have done. And that's the way football goes. But anyway, like, he couldn't do anything about this. It was all on the team. Like, Max Kruse getting way too much room, and that's just a lovely finish, which, spoiler, turns out to be the game winner. Like, we had a couple of chances, but nothing clear cut that would have got us a point at least, and they were just too good for us, even with the referee aiding them. Like, 9 tackles to our 1. They'd already made 1 foul, and at that time I'd already had a couple of players that had gone down injured due to them, and here Rene Adler with a fine save to keep it 1-0, keep us in the game. But that was it. We didn't really have much, and the tackles there, 17-3, and 1 foul, but there were way more bad tackles in that game than the stats suggest. So, very disappointing end to the episode, but I know the boys will be ready to go for the next one. I'm Fantasy Sports Wizard. I thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you all next time for the next episode. Bye.